In 3301, strange alien devices referred to as the Unknown Artifacts began appearing in space. These objects were discovered by independent pilots and seemed to be emitting some kind of signal. They were found to be corrosive to human ships and later to starports. They would later be identified as Thargoid sensors and were the first evidence of an impeding threat to humanity. The Thargoids, a non-human, sentient species of advanced technological development. First sighted in what is now the Epsilon Indi system during human terraforming activities on the world New Africa, violent conflict soon followed. The first Thargoid War lasted 340 years, including 96 years of intensive fighting, and then they vanished once again. It has been so long since that war that the Thargoids were believed by many to be myth, but since 3301 their presence has exploded. In 3303, a player commander was interdicted from hyperspace by an unknown ship, not in supercruise, but during a hyperjump. The ship was able to completely shut down the commander's craft and perform some kind of scan. It then left and the commander's ship returned to normal functionality. Thargoid crafts have a mastery of the which space traversed during hyperjumps, but they seemingly cannot enter supercruise or have never been observed to do so. Thargoid craft have been observed in two distinct classes, with several variants of each class. The scouts appear in large numbers. They are small, fast and maneuverable. They are vulnerable to normal human weapons, but have a range of deadly attack, including caustic missiles. These coat the target in a corrosive substance that eats away at it. Upon destruction, they explode into a cloud of this same corrosive substance. The interceptors are far larger and tougher than scouts. They appear in smaller numbers, but are far, far tougher than any human ship. They are impervious to standard human weapons and can regenerate damage using organs on the vessel, referred to as hearts. Destroying these hearts is the only way to kill an interceptor. They have a range of devastating attacks, including the ability to shut down all ships within a 10-kilometer range, and the ability to launch swarms of tiny Thargon entities to engulf their target. Our understanding of Thargoid biology is severely hampered by the failure to establish the location and nature of their home world or worlds. We know they favour ammonia-based worlds, and environments at a lower temperature and higher pressure than would be tolerable by human life. Thargoid culture and politics remain a mystery, due largely to the absence of communication between the races. It is not clear why they have returned, although the recent human expansions into the Pleiades, Witchhead and California nebulas are one theorized trigger. Thargoid activity is very intense in these regions, and beyond them a vast region of space called the Cone Sector is permit-locked and inaccessible to commanders. Could this region contain the Thargoid civilization? Currently, the war is focused around the Pleiades and Witchhead nebulas, although incursions in the human core systems, known as the Bubble, are occurring.
Will and I have just returned to the Bubble after venturing out 1,000 light years in search of Guardian technology. Blueprints derived from ancient data terminals left behind by an extinct civilization. We can now give the blueprints to a technology broker and receive Guardian weapons before joining the war.
So there's mating killers now?
With our new weapons fitted, we were both hopeful and confident about our chances against the Thargoids. Our destination was the Pleiades Nebula once again. We would return to Ceres Tarn in HR 1185 to link up with the anti-Xeno carrier, the Indra.
When the Thargoid threat was first confirmed, the major superpowers of the Bubble, the Federation, the Alliance and the Empire, collaborated in a joint defence initiative called Aegis. The Empire contributed the Indra, and it remains in the Pleiades to this day, under the control of the player organisation, the Anti-Xeno Initiative.
Our initial goal was simple. There was a substantial Thargoid presence around Ceres Tarn, attacking supply vessels and other traffic. We were to head out and try to contribute to the defence of the planet.
We got an interceptor of some kind. I know what it is exactly.
It's done that thing where it knocks out like a mega meter away from you.
Oh wait. Okay. So we've got
Under attack. Taking damage.
our cannons. There we go. Reloading.
Is that this tentacle thing?
Shields kind of low.
Flight assist off.
Okay. There's some Thargons out there as well. A swarm of them. I'm trying to fire the shields out.
Warning. Temperature critical. Warning. Taking heat. Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
Okay, heart is exposed. I'm going for it.
At this point in time, we had the Guardian weapons fitted, but our ship loadouts were more or less the same as we were using in the bubble against human opponents. We had to adjust to using fixed weapons with a long firing delay, and while I'd heard about using remote flak launchers against the Thargon swarm, I'd mistakenly assumed the frag cannons would provide the same effectiveness up close.
That heart is still exposed. I'm going for it.
Warning. Taking heat damage. Warning. Hull breach attack. Taking internal damage. Warning. Taking heat. Flight assist on.
How you doing, babe?
Huh?
How you doing?
It just hit me once, and my closing cannon malfunctioned.
I'm under fire, Commander. Taking damage. Hull is at 50, Commander. Fighter is down, Commander.
Roll's down.
Fighter assembly initiated.
I died.
My limpet controller's down. God damn it. Okay, I'm bailing.
I died.
Frameshift drive charging.
70% more. I know I'm good.
3, 2.
Well, you jumping up now, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was
Right.
a fucking tough fight, and I am seriously hurt.
We'd faced our first interceptor, and couldn't even knock out a single heart. These vessels are far tougher than any human ship we'd ever encountered, and their capabilities were still mostly a mystery to us. We were already beginning to suspect we'd need to seriously toughen up our ships to stand a
It's an
chance.
interceptor.
Power plant
Big red
capacity
one.
exceeded.
Solid copy. Deploying the fighter.
Here we go.
Fighter deployed. Standing by.
Right, let's drop those Thargons and engage now.
Warning. Shield breach attack. Under attack. Taking
Multiple impacts, Commander. Fighter hull is at 50% and taking too much damage, Commander. Fighter is down, Commander.
taking internal damage. Fighter assembly initiated.
Shields are down 40%. I can't believe I'm going to get taken out. My canopy's going. I'm out.
Frameshift drive
You-
charging.
You're jumping.
You got it. I'm going to die otherwise. I'm like 24% hull, no shields.
We conceded that interceptors may be beyond our capabilities at this time, but there were also a lot of Thargoid scouts out there causing damage. We headed back out to support the supply vessels that were inbound.
Solid copy. Deploying the fighter. The odds aren't stacked in our favor, Commander. Let's try to split these targets up. Fighter
And
deployed. Standing by.
there's a human ship here. There's a Type 9, I think. And a bunch of gunboats. 4 of them.
4.
Looks like it.
So there might be like smaller but weaker.
And yeah, they're scouts.
Shield breach attack. Under attack. Taking
Again,
damage.
do we need to discuss their hearts?
Yeah, the scouts are easier. Just hit them and hit them.
Multiple impacts, Commander.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
Wow, welcome.
Warning. Temperature critical. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Heat sink deployed. Under attack.
Yeah, I go in. I go in.
Target
I see.
destroyed. Warning. Caustic
Shit,
damage
I'm infected. I gotta get my limbs up there. I'm getting pretty good with these plasma thingies.
Fighter hull is at 50% and taking too much damage, Commander. Fighter is down, Commander.
Decontamination limit.
Oh, great.
Fighter assembly
I'm still infected.
Flight assist on.
Come on, you just die from contamination, surely. Oh, actually, I can just overheat, can't I?
Yeah.
That's okay, we'll do that.
Warning. Temperature critical. Warning.
Here we go.
Heat damage. Under attack. Warning. Hull breach attack. Taking internal damage. Custom system
Yes! Initialize it.
Flight assist off. Fighter assist
Go,
off.
girl. Go, girl.
Flight assist on.
Copy that. Establishing teleport.
Got another one. I've killed 3.
Well done, baby.
In the heat of battle, I was unable to use my decontamination limpets successfully to decontaminate my ship of the caustic substance. With the battle over, Will needed decontaminating, so I set to work at getting my limpets over to him.
We got this.
Sit down with me.
It's almost done. 75%.
It says removed.
Oh, great, okay. It's also repairing you a little bit as well. So,
Decontamination limit.
okay,
Successful.
I'm going back to the engines of the arm.
Yeah.
We gained our first victory defending some supply ships above Ceres Tarn. However, we are about to find out that even scout battles are incredibly dangerous.
Okay,
Whoa.
it's scouts.
Okay, lots of them too. Okay.
Okay, Commander. Releasing the fighter. The odds aren't stacked in our favor, Commander. Let's try to split these targets up. Systems online. Ready for action.
Whoa, there's an interceptor coming in.
We've got a heavy hitter here, Commander.
Rail.
I'm running without shield.
I don't know, I thought I
Cover
saw
me,
one.
Commander. Fighter is destroyed. Took too much damage,
I just took a
Commander.
big hit, and of course,
Yeah, I just think that, well, my shield is going to pick me off. And my hull is being damaged. We're bailing?
you can bail.
You're not.
No, I'm going to try and stick around. I hit by something huge. Yeah, my shields are down.
Shields offline.
The hull's going down so quickly.
Warning. Hull breach attack. Warning. Temperature critical.
Okay, I'm getting out of here.
Heat sink deployed. Warning. Caustic damage detected. Cannot
I'm dead.
fly.
Yeah, I'm dead. Jesus Christ. I'm at 4%. I don't think I can decontaminate.
Taking damage.
Drop out.
Programming limit control.
Come on.
Taking damage. Power plant capacity.
2% hull, come on. Come on. Come on. We can do this.
Taking damage. Caustic
3% hull. Neutralized at 3% hull. I think if we jump into an instance and it's just scout, if there's that many, we just jump out because they will swarm us and yeah. I'm looking for an interceptor. Are you game for going after an interceptor?
So we were off to take on another interceptor with a slightly different loadout this time. I thought I'd try multi-cannons against the Thargon swarm to see if they're any more effective than the frag cannons I'd erroneously fitted.
taking heat damage. Taking damage.
I I'd managed to expose the first heart early on, but the combined attacks of the Thargon swarm and the interceptor were quickly draining my shields. I'd need to fire a shield cell bank.
Power plant capacity exceeded. Heat sink deployed.
Reversing away at full speed, I tried to use the multi-cannon I'd fitted against the Thargon swarm. It proved absolutely ineffective.
Taking heat damage. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Warning. Taking heat damage. Taking heat damage. Flight assist off. Warning. Taking heat damage. Flight assist on. Heat sink deployed. Flight assist on. Under attack. Taking heat damage. Taking heat damage. Flight assist off.
With a well-placed shot, I'd managed to take out the first heart. I had no idea what to expect after this point, so my instinct said, run away.
Heat sink deployed. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Flight assist on. Under attack. Shields offline.
The interceptor unleashed a devastating attack that completely drained my shields immediately. We would later learn this attack is referred to as the lightning attack.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Module malfunction. Hull integrity critical. Frameshift drive charging.
With my ship close to destruction, I decided it's time to return to the Indra for repairs. We'd learned a lot about the Thargoids' capabilities in our first day of this war. We'd certainly have to learn a lot more before we could perform effectively against these threats. In the week that followed, we were to travel to Asterope, a system nearby that was the centre of the war. Join us next time to see how we get on.